Hello and welcome to this 14th episode in our series on freedom and happiness. Today we're going to talk about one of the most universal topic or subjects you can say in human life, ancient or modern, and it is food. I've got your attention, haven't I? You see, continuing with our evolutionary past and the way we've been trying to link our modern lives with the kind of evolution we've all come from, food is also something like that. It is like at the start of it all, let me share with you. You see, there are neurons all over the body, and the length of the neurons depends from place to place. For example, if I talk about the length of neurons from my fingertip to my brain, so each of these neurons is large, and the synapses amongst them, synapses is something I talked about in the last to last episodes. So synapses are few. So that means that any signal from my fingertip to my brain is going to reach very fast compared to my neurons which connect my brain with my stomach. Because here the neurons are small, there are many synapses in between this journey from the stomach to the brain, meaning thereby that any signal which the stomach gives will travel very slowly to the brain compared to the speed at which the signal is going to transfer from my fingertip to my brain. And why is that? It is only because in our evolutionary stage, it is so important that if I don't know if a surface is hot or cold and I touch the hot surface, so immediately my hand comes back and my brain tells my hand that, hey, this is very hot, you might as well take your finger away from the hot surface. This is just for protection of the human body. Similarly, the connection between the stomach and the human brain has been kept deliberately slow. It is only because in our past it was not that we were having 3 or 4 full meals every day. So it was only natural that whenever you get to eat, maybe after 4 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours, maybe the next day, idea is to hog as much as possible, so you never know when is your next meal coming from. So you see, these are all evolutionary patterns which are ingrained into our DNA, in the way our brains are wired and in the way we have evolved. What are the kind of implications does this have in our modern life? Well, the implications are that the very purpose for which the slow signal from the stomach to the brain were meant have actually now gotten converted from a boon to a bane. And so we keep eating and we keep eating, we hog so much. We've got abundance of food today in our modern day lives, and that by the time the brain gets to realize that the stomach is full, it's really bloated with food. And so this is what's causing problems in our modern day-to-day lives. Another evolutionary story is the story of vitamin B12, which is found by certain bacteria which the plants make in the soil. And so the animals consume them, and they in turn take vitamin B12, which is what, when we consume, you see, animal fat, animal liver, dairy products, we get to have vitamin B12. So now thing is that since a lot of it was found in the soil, and today there are people who have become strictly vegetarian because there's plenty of vegetarian food available today, and so that is why you've got this deficiency of vitamin B in today's diets, and so people are having to take dietary supplements just to keep them healthy.
Ever wonder why your body needs vitamin B12? The answer lies deep in our evolutionary past, back when we were hunter-gatherers. Unlike plants, we humans can't make B12. This crucial vitamin is created by tiny bacteria found in the environment. Our ancestors, roaming vast landscapes, relied heavily on animal sources for food. These animals, having ingested those B12-producing bacteria, stored the vitamin in their meat and organs. For early humans, a juicy piece of meat wasn't just energy, it was a vital dose of B12. This vitamin became essential for key bodily functions, like building our DNA, creating healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen, and keeping our nervous system, including our ever-growing brains, functioning properly. As our brains grew in complexity, the demand for B12 likely increased. A consistent intake through animal products fueled this evolutionary leap. So while we now have supplements and fortified foods, our fundamental need for vitamin B12 is a direct legacy of our hunter-gatherer ancestors and their meat-rich diet. It's a fascinating link between our past and our present health. So next time you take a bite of that B12-rich food, remember, you're connecting with a tradition that spans millennia.
And so there are four main groups of food which you need to consider while you are eating your food. Well, one is carbohydrates, proteins, fibers, vitamins and minerals. And so when you are setting up this plate of food, you just need to ensure that you are having roughly about 25% of each of these four food groups while you are having cooked meals, uncooked meals, a combination of those, eating plenty of salad, trying to avoid trans fats which you will find in deep fried foods, concentrate more on mono and polysaturated fats. Fats are also pretty good, and there's this misnomer that try and avoid a diet with fat. Have a cheat day as well, once in a week, once in a 10 days. You can certainly go ahead and maybe eat some food which you really like, which may really not be that beneficial for your health, but then it's good. It kind of creates a mental balance and also kind of gives you a discipline to continue with your diet, which is towards the healthy side. A balanced, healthy diet is crucial for maintaining a healthy body and mind. It provides the essential nutrients for growth, development and proper functioning, as well as protecting against various diseases. Food not only fuels the body, but also directly impacts the brain function, mood and cognitive performance. The key nutrients for a healthy body and mind are carbohydrates, proteins and fats, which provide energy and building blocks for tissues and muscles. Vitamins and minerals are essential for bodily functions, including immune support, bone health and nerve function. Fiber promotes healthy digestion and can help manage weight. Antioxidants protect cells from damage caused by free radicals. Let's look at the tips for a healthy diet. Well, you need to eat a variety of foods, including fruits, vegetables, grains, dairy, and protein-rich foods in your diet. Limited processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats, because they can negatively impact health and well-being. Stay hydrated and drink plenty of water throughout the day. Also plan your meals, because this can help ensure that you are getting the nutrients you need and avoid unhealthy food choices. And finally, listen to your body. Pay attention to hunger and fullness, cues to avoid overeating or undereating. An ideal routine could run something like you wake up in the morning and you just take a glass of water. You make another glass of water with honey and lime, lukewarm water, you have that. And that is how you start your day. Preferably within 1 hour of your waking up, have a fresh fruit if possible. So these are, small habits which if you inculcate in your everyday life are really going to keep you healthy. Your breakfast is considered the most important meal of the day for several reasons, including its role in boosting energy, supporting brain function, and contributing to overall health. It helps replenish blood sugar levels after an overnight fast, providing sustained energy and improving focus through the morning. Additionally, breakfast can help with weight management by preventing overeating later in the day and reducing the risk of obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. Let's also look at the importance of water in our health. In India, a general recommendation for adults is to drink at least 2 liters, 2000 ml of water per day. Consuming clean drinking water in the right quantities is absolutely fundamental for good health. Water is just not a beverage, it is essential for virtually every body function. Water keeps your cells and tissues hydrated, allowing them to function properly. Dehydration, even mild, can lead to fatigue, headaches, dizziness, and difficulty in concentration. It acts as the body's primary transport medium. It carries nutrients and oxygen to cells and helps transport waste products away to be eliminated. And through sweating, water helps regulate your body temperature, preventing overheating, especially during physical activities or in hot environments. Water lubricates joints, making movement smoother. It also cushions organs and tissues, including the brain, spinal cord, and eyes. It is also crucial for digestion. It helps form saliva, aids in breaking down food, allows the body to absorb nutrients more effectively, and helps prevent constipation by keeping stool soft. Water is vital for flushing out waste products and toxins from the body through urine and sweat. This helps maintain kidney function and overall detoxification. You see, all chemical reactions that occur in your body, from energy production to protein synthesis, require water. It is the medium in which these processes take place. These guidelines also consider factors like activity levels, climate, and overall health. For example, more physical activity or warmer climates may require more water. 5 billion people around the world have no protection against industrially produced trans fats, ITFAs, putting them at risk of heart disease and death. The World Health Organization said IFTAs are responsible for over 500,000 premature deaths from coronary heart disease every year. Commonly found in baked goods, cooking oils, and packaged foods, ITFAs are created in an industrial process that adds hydrogen to liquid vegetable oils to make them more solid. Take any liquid oil and bubble hydrogen through it, and that makes it more solid. Dr. Tom Frieden, CEO of Resolve, says to save lives at a WHO press conference announcing the launch of the report. This is pretty good for baking. Unfortunately, it is also solid in your coronary arteries. However, one thing I should really warn you against. You see, of late, over the last 2-3 decades, and there's a proliferation of vegetable oils in the market. Now, these vegetable oils are essentially industrially produced oils from palm, and there's a complete industry around it. And you see the way these vegetable oils are manufactured. If you were to just see the process and if you were to just see the way they are made, you will simply decide never to have them again. The oils are bleached, they're treated with chemicals. The oil is heated to as high as 200 degrees centigrade. You really don't know if at that temperature the molecular structure of the oil also starts to get damaged. And there are so many things. Ideally, when you are looking at consuming fat in your diet besides animal fat or dairy fat, the cooking medium should essentially include cold pressed oils, whether it's peanut oil or coconut oil, mustard oil, sesame seed oil. These are some of the healthy fats which, if you incorporate in your diet, will really help you. The Indian diet can be a healthy and nutritious option when focusing on traditional home-cooked meals that prioritize whole foods, natural spices, and balanced nutrient intake. However, it is important to be mindful of the potential downsides, such as the high carbohydrate intake, low proteins, and unhealthy fats, and the shift towards processed foods, which make conscious choice to ensure a healthy and a balanced diet. You see, spices contain certain compounds that are naturally toxic to pests and pathogens, and these compounds can actually benefit human health. These compounds can act as antioxidants, antimicrobials, and anti-inflammatory agents, offering various health benefits. The toxins in spices are actually plant defenses that can be beneficial to human health. These compounds offer a range of positive effects, including antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. By incorporating spices into your diet, you can enjoy flavorful meals and reap the health benefits they offer. They can aid digestion, boost metabolism, potentially lower blood pressure, and even contribute to weight management. So, the quantity you eat and the quality of food which you take is equally important. Also important is the fact that you need to be very mindful of what time are you having food. Ideally, at least 3 hours before you go to bed is when you should be having your dinner. Improved gut health. You see, the colon is full of naturally occurring bacteria, which plays an important role in metabolism and digestion. A diet high in fiber may decrease inflammation in the gut. A diet rich in fibrous vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains may provide a combination of prebiotics and probiotics that help good bacteria thrive in the colon. These fermented foods are rich in prebiotics like yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, and miso. Prebiotics may help improve a range of digestive issues, including ISB symptoms. The gut-brain connection, also known as the gut-brain axis, refers to the complex and bidirectional communication between the digestive system and the central nervous system. This connection influences everything from mood and stress levels to our overall sense of well-being. The gut-brain axis involves interactions between nerve cells, gut hormones, and the gut microbiome, which are the bacteria that live in the digestive system. Well, also important is how you eat your food, because if you eat your food with total concentration, with mindfulness, I'm sure this food is really gonna give you more benefits than if you were really consuming this while watching your television. I think I mentioned this in one of my earlier episodes. Also important is that when you are eating, eat slow. So the whole idea is that I remember when I was a kid and I read in one of my books about Mahatma Gandhi, and he said that it is very important that when you're eating your food, try and make this a habit. Chew your food 32 times, equal to the number of teeth you have in your jaw. So I kind of really took it up, and even today I've inculcated this habit of eating very, very slow. Now, what does slow eating does to you? Of course, one thing is that the food gets chewed very properly and it gets masticated pretty well, and so you derive more nutritional benefit from a small quantity of food rather than if you were simply just gulping it down. The other benefit which you get is that, as I explained to you earlier, that since the signal from the stomach to the brain and the journey towards that brain is very, very slow. So if you're eating slow, so by the time you are 60, 70, 75% full, your brain will start to have this idea that you've had enough, and it is there that you should stop. Let's also look at superfoods. Rujuta Divekar, the fabled dietitian to the legendary Bollywood actor Kareena Kapoor, tells about 10 different foods like rice, cashew, banana, jackfruit, among others, which have superfood-like qualities and are locally available. She says, our impression of local native food is poor, but local food is ecologically smart and keeps farmers in business. It is invariably rich in nutrients and can be converted into delicious meals that help regulate blood sugar and alleviate stress. Around our cities are farms with fertile soils where farmers grow grains, fruits, and vegetables. And we want all these farms to thrive, right? We want farmers to break out of the vicious circle of poverty and for people to stay away from clinics that treat diabetes. Our grandmothers have always done what the current US FDA guidelines are asking health professionals to do. Steer clear of nutrient, less carb, more protein, good fat, etc. based plans and instead advocate the consumption of wholesome food. You may have observed your grandmother eating dahi or curd rice in the summer and dal rice in winter, not carbs with B12 and starch with amino acids. This is the real life application of ancient wisdom. The science is evolving and our community of doctors and dietitians should change their approach with it as well. I'll be sharing a link in the description box below, and you can purchase her books on Amazon like I did. Believe you me, you will be doing yourself a huge favor. So I hope you found this episode interesting. Keep watching my episodes for much more interesting content in the future as well. We'll keep linking each and every episode the way it follows. I will be taking you through exercises in the next episode, and we will just have a look at why proper sleep, proper food, proper exercise is simply non-negotiable to your journey towards fitness. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.